Oh, here we go. We're steering again. Ha! Let's do this. Okay, tonight's session on the NEO2T. There's a new firmware update out for the 2T that I haven't done any real testing on yet, any real writing on, so 0.0.36. 2T, Stedizel, and we're heading up to the radio tower for some low cadence, low flywheel, leg grinding fun, maybe? Join me for the ride. I'll be here for another hour or so. It'll involve a couple of little sprints, holding probably 250 to 300-ish. I don't know, I'll see how I feel on the climb. I've already done this climb once today on another trainer, so this is just another reference check on that. Plus another rainy Saturday night in. Maximum of 6.8 degrees Celsius here today in Ballarat. Absolutely horrendous. Tim, good evening. How are we? Oh, good morning. So the Stedizel Smart working very well with the NEO2T. And all my numbers are lining up. Happy days for now. Oh, bit of riding going on here. Tobin, welcome back. Hey, Tobin, are you over in Weight Weenies, aren't you? That's where you mainly hang out. Give me a yay or a nay on that one. I'm pretty sure that's where I see most of your good work done over there. Is it Weight Weenies? It might be Slow Twitch too. Anyhow, good to have a familiar face in the chat. Get to power up already. Yes, come on, let's go. Windy England. I tell you what, our weather was very English today. Anybody in Melbourne watching? Good day to be inside. Aussie living in Copenhagen. Nice one. And I'm going to dish out some ride-ons back. Shouldn't I? There we go. 3. Boom. There we go. Did that guy just steer into me, or was it the AI steering? Runner up. Cause some hell. Oof, look at it. Shoulder checking runners, so I'll get in trouble for that. So I hope everybody is well, enjoying your Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. As I said, second time up this hill today. Already ridden up once on the Kicker 5 it was, with the 2 power meters on the bike. I haven't ridden the Neo for so long, I've looked down, it's got that glow underneath it. I thought, what the hell is going on? It's the Kicker glow. Sorry, the Neo glow. If your kicker's glowing, it's a bad thing. So noise-wise, with a brand fresh, spankingly new clean chain, Kicker and Neo are 1 for 1. I can still hold a conversation with both. There's no either or. Did it snow in Ballarat today? Asked Simon. Above 600 meters it snowed. We're at 4:30 here in town. Mount Bunningham, where they hold the national champs. I think that's touching around 600. Must have been close out there. My nicks are a little short. They're riding up. Showing a bit of leg tonight. Indoor winter kit. There should be a plan to activate steering on smart bikes. Zwift alluded to that. Hopefully my audio's okay. I feel like a little far away. Let me fix that. I like it better when we're closer. Zwift did mention that in the Future Works update. Yep. Okay, I'm down the cassette. That's why I'm digging away. So currently riding the older TCR, which I did upgrade to Di2 the other day. And I have my climbing shifter. I love the climbing shifter. It's large, it's bulky, it's ugly, it's cable tied on. I wouldn't have it any other... Well, I would have it other ways if there was a better option, but I like it. Did smart bike manufacturers miss the trick not having steering built into bikes? No, I think it was too early for them to invest in steering. Nobody knows if it's going to be a thing yet. This still is technically only a beta. Future Works by any other name is a beta, but don't call it a beta. Because people might not buy the hardware or might think it's unpolished, I don't know. They call it Future Works though. Has some front end creaking. It's not the bike, I don't think. If it gets too loud, let me know. I'll get some spray out. I'll do more complaining and freaking get into the equipment that I'm on tonight, for sure. Just wait till we hit the seat part of the radio tower. 100k ride around Surrey Hills. The real Surrey Hills or the Zwift Surrey Hills? Sounds like a good day out either way. Power-wise, we're looking good. We're looking good. Evening, Veronica Mičić, Lama Mama. Welcome along. What's with the weaving around, warming the tyres up? Yeah, because every Zwift race is a burnout. Did anybody see that meme the other day? It was hilarious. The start of every Zwift race is a burnout. That is the best description of every single start race. I'm not racing tonight, I'm just warming the tyres up. I'm steering because I can. That's all. The real Surrey Hills, nice one. I've no Zwift noise. Let's get some of that happening. There we go. I should have clicked the button. And hook that corner. Lovely. Now, one thing with the Sturzo is that you can hold the center line and no one can touch you. No one can get in the draft. Doesn't really matter when I'm riding by myself, but it's interesting in a bunch. So the new Neo firmware. Changelog wasn't much. I love a big, long changelog. Wasn't much in it. But we'll see how it falls out once we are done. So collecting data tonight with the Edge 530, 830 and 1030 Plus. All on the very, very new firmware, which I should do a video about tomorrow morning. They do have a big changelog. Quite a few things in there for everybody to enjoy. Sensor pairing, iPhone pairing's been improved, and a few other things. Okay, this is fan number 2 going on now. It's the headwind. I never turn it on until about 7 minutes in. There we go. No stopping for a calibration tonight, for a good reason. The Neo doesn't need one. My legs do. Oh, come on. Now I do need a short sprint. And I best get that over sooner than rather than later, hey? Just a short sprint. Just a short sprint. Ha ha! Guess what's back? Every time. Every time on the Neo. I haven't ridden the Neo for months. And I forgot about that. It's not bad, but... And I believe after a while, it will burn off. It's just... It's a unique smell. And it's not me, sorry, it's the... So, smart bikes and steering, it's still an unknown quantity for them to invest too much. The kicker bike has a front end that could easily be replaced, with the right equipment, replaced with the with a turning stem or headset, but turning on like this angle isn't. I mean, real cycling is this. Row, row, row. Not this. This is a bit of a game, which is cool, don't get me wrong, I like it. 417 Ks, I think, is the biggest day I've done on Zwift. It's about 12 or 13 hours, back in 2015. I think for now they'll be going with the buttons for steering. That's all all the gears I have. Now, if I had the wireless module for this Di2 setup, which is coming soon, it would tell me on the head unit that, beep, I'm out of gears. Whereas at the moment, it doesn't change. Cosmorne U7. Good evening. Good morning, UK. As I said, maximum 6.8 degrees Celsius here in Ballarat. A good day for a double session indoors. And this is session number 2. I tell you what, these numbers are looking spot on with the Neo, with the 2T and the Asioma Duos. All good, all good. Stefan, welcome along. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be here for another 50 minutes to an hour. So join me for the ride. Feel free to throw any questions in. Let us know where you're at. If you're in Melbourne, let us know how you're going. Tough times in Melbourne now with the stage 4 lockdowns. Let us know if you're still getting your kilometres in, or you've taken up CrossFit in the garage, or if you set a new planking record. Let us know how you do in Melbourne. We're still lucky enough, well, lucky relative, to be in stage 3 here, which means I can get to Bunnings and Officeworks. Bunnings, Officeworks and JB Hi-Fi. Is there anything else we need? I don't think so. All right. Small warm-up done. Cliff bars are sold at Officeworks, $270. $270 each. Australian dollars, so that's something else in other currency. Still too expensive. Belgium, Argentina, we are worldwide. Yeah, Von, they have Cliff bars at Officeworks. Though I did end up buying the raspberry bullets instead. I mean, I thought we needed some protection in the car. Extra bullets are always a good thing. They wouldn't do much harm, but they were very tasty. Cliff bars could potentially be a weapon if you froze them and threw them hard enough. I ate the bullets. Lucky little Maxie didn't see what we had. All right. Legs are feeling okay. So the plan is, this is not a route badge ride tonight. I've only got the hard ones left. So it's going to be a very long stream for the route badge rides. I think the next one's 46 Ks. Actually, I'll go over them in a moment. But epic KOM tonight. Radio Tower, slogging up there. I need to split the Radio Tower into 4 sections. The first little bit, 100% trainer difficulty. And then the next section, 50% trainer difficulty. Next section, 20% trainer difficulty. Yay. And then back to 100. Just a block of 4 up there for what I'm testing tonight. Licorice bullets before a group ride is the weapon of the worst kind. I think the licorice bullets would ping off spokes really well. I love the kit in-game, level 42 kit. In-person body talk kit. And some short shorts tonight, look out. I'm all the rage from the 90s. I'm trying to work on the tan lines here indoors with all these lights. Not going too well at the moment. Paddy, longer rides for the route badges. That'd be awesome, but I'm not up for the overhead of setting up a meetup to do that. Be a pain in the short shorts. I was really hoping clubs would be around by now, so we could spin up something like a Gplama club, and then people could just choose of their own free will to jump in or jump out. Best bibs for long rides, anything really. The longer the ride, the more pairs of bibs you need. FTP, no idea. Haven't tested it for a long time. Don't intend on testing it for even longer time. It's probably sitting around 290, 300 now. That's about it. Klaus, yeah, more drives videos coming when we can drive somewhere. Unfortunately, Melbourne is off limits. I think driving anywhere is currently off limits. Hence, a lack of driving. Tron bike, check. Oh. Structured workouts and knowing your FTP, Noah asks. Yeah, of course, knowing your zones for sure. But is knowing your FTP good for what you should be sitting on optimally for 2 minutes? Maybe not. For 5 minutes, FTP is a really broad umbrella that works for most. So knowing your FTP will get you ballpark for where you should be for intensity for everything, but everyone's different. FTP when competing, probably around 350 to 360 at around 70 to 71 kilos. If I drop down lower than that for hilly races, about 68 or 69 kilos, FTP also dropped a little bit, but it's sort of 1 for 1 all the way along. I don't know what that is in watts per kilo. Look, for my training and zones and things, I knew my 5-minute power, my 20-minute power, and pretty much what I could hold for. I don't think we ever went an hour flat out. Man, my 5 and 10, 20-minute power is what I worked on. But chasing numbers there is a very hard end to that, and it sucks. You'll reach your physical limit, which you'll never improve from. And it's, diminishing returns from there on. And you'll go up and down. But if you focus purely on your FTP, I tell you what, you're going to be disappointed when it drops. So as long as you enjoy cycling first. It's when you do a lance. Let's not get started with that. It's an entirely different realm. One that wasn't absent from the racing that I have done either, as we found out later on. But the cards fell more my way than the others, so I'm happy with that. And I can guarantee there's no one going to be knocking on my door, or nothing that's ever going to be uncovered, and any of the results that I've had ever taken away. So, I sleep very well at night. Will I get back to that level? Nope. That's a lot of hard work. I'm in the middle because I can. Hell yeah, I'm holding up traffic. That's what I'm up to. It's also the shortest route to get to the top. Is the spinning side to side thing in real life work on Zwift? No. What you're referring to there is delivering the post. So, doing this and this and this in real life lessens the gradient, except for the part where you're actually turning. So you can gather a little bit more speed before you hook around. No, it doesn't work on Zwift. Zwift doesn't appear to adjust the gradient based on your angle that you're on, your forward facing angle. Probably a bit too hard for it to change. Something like a Neo, a kicker, possibly. Something that changes really quickly wouldn't be a problem. Other trainers aren't going to be able to handle the like 3%, 8%, 3%, 8%, 3%, 8%, 3%. Yeah, what I'm saying here, it's sort of, obviously you're doing that. Most trainers aren't going to be able to handle that. It's too fast. Any insider knowledge on whether the Kicker 18 will be going to an auto-calibrate update? No idea. I doubt it. I'll roll with that. With no insider knowledge. They've got to give people a reason to upgrade. That's business. Play-Doh machine. Good to see you Play-Dohing in the channel there with your Play-Doh fingers. Still a bit too young in this household to play with Play-Doh. Not myself, my young son. He'd likely eat it. Hey, hell, even I might eat it. If it's tasty enough. Get out of here, Trevor. It's not sunny in the UK. Doesn't happen. I don't believe it. You're on Zwift, aren't you? It's sunny in the UK on Zwift. Good to see you, mate. Steering with the new Axis feet might feel a bit wobbly. Checkmate. Not at all. The Axis feet, I can't get them to wobble much. The Neo, on the other hand, the Neo's got a bit of wobble. So this is the Neo with the Statizor, and everything is, I was going to think of an Italian word for great, bellissimo, maybe? Everything works fine. Whew. Did we have tunes going, or I thought I had some music that I could listen to? It's a bit quiet here for me. I got nothing. I got nothing. Hopester, welcome along. Thank you for being a subscriber to the channel. We're only halfway up. I'm enjoying the chat though, thank you. You're making the time go by a lot better than just me staring at the screen and throwing elbows at other riders on the way up. Corona 19 will win the tour this year. Guaranteed. Corona will be the last one standing. Not to be too negative about things, but good on them for trying to run the tour. Everything else going on in the world though, wow. Herald Sun Tour has been cancelled in Victoria already for next year. Not that much of a yardstick for the Tour de France, but look, who knows, Alex, the everything's upside down this year. Everything. It rains more on Zwift than the UK. I like it. My 2 trips to the UK, 2 that I can remember, might be 3. First one was beautiful, brilliant weather. 28 degrees, fantastic. Second one for the CVR World Cup with Frank and the crew. Before esports were big, for Zwift anyway. Nice weather for a few days, and then raining for a few others, but still a nice place to get around. Prince Computer Games, welcome along to the channel. Morning, Dave. I must have hit the UK right on the head, hey, for my timing. Saturday morning, is it? Has to be. It's almost Sunday here. Well, every day feels like a Sunday at the moment. Steering out of the saddle. It works. So it's with the Neo going side to side a little bit. I can still hold the line that I want without much problem. I make it look easy. It's the filtering that I have on. I'm a mess at the moment. I'm breathing hard and sweating buckets. Ashley Eccleston, welcome along to the channel. How are we going for Twitch, people? I'm dual streaming this on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch 18, not bad. Everyone over on Twitch receiving that superior video quality. YouTube, meh. As long as the audio is good on YouTube, hey. Twitch just does it so much better. But I won't tell YouTube that. Seems to be something with the compression they use on YouTube. Likely to make it compatible with more things. But Twitch is just spot on 60 frames, perfect. 0 drop frames too. Nice one. The server that I used to connect to is just in Sydney. Which is just a hop and a hop away. Not too far at all. Okay. Snowline. We're going to suffer up to the epic KOM and then we'll cruise down. Neo moves more than the Kicker 5. Oh yeah. Yep. The Hunt 3650, the 4050 arrows on the other bike. Yeah, fine. I'll do a video, but I'm just not riding outdoors enough at the moment. It's the middle of winter. When the sun comes back out, I'll loop back to them. I had one rear spoke go twang and come a little loose. I took that to the shop. And what I wanted to do by taking it to the bike shop is get them to give me their opinion on the wheel build. They said it was fine. He was happy with the wheel build. Other than that, and the spoke just came loose. That's the only issue I've had physically for them. Water ingress on them. It's a known issue. Look up that for the Hunt wheels, for the water ingress. If you're riding in a lot of water, not the choice to go with. Other than that, rock and roll. They're still on the bike, and that's probably the best endorsement. People always ask, what do I endorse? What do I use? What do I recommend they buy? Well, whatever you purchase is entirely up to you. Hopefully I can get you to a point where you understand what you want to buy more, what works and what doesn't. But if it's on the bike and it stays on the bike, it's usually a good indication that something works for me. They're still on the bike. For now. Always searching for something better. Am I an X-Pro? No. Probably. We gave a few pros a run for their money in the Masters games, Masters Champ stuff, and the Elite Nationals when us old boys entered. But no, not a Europe Pro, not an NRS Pro. Tacx NEO2T. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't be betting on this year. Kiki Lucas testing the firmware update on the NEO2T. 0.0.3.36. It's public firmware, so anybody with a 2T will have the same firmware. Power numbers looking good. Look at the cadence later on. But we're going to do some testing up the Epic KOM in just a few moments with a few things. I have the legs of my... Not these days. Unfortunately, I've still got the racing mind of a cyclist. Of a top level amateur, I guess, but not the legs. That's a bad thing to have. Your brain or your mind writes checks, your legs can't cash. Zwift shows riders ahead as being negative in time. Yeah, good point, David. On the list just next to me here. So rather than someone being up the road by plus 8 seconds, or sorry, plus 50 seconds up the road, the indication there is that they're negative 48 seconds. Or I guess it's relative to me. I am 45 seconds behind them. So it's a perspective of me. Whereas when we view cycling, it's from the perspective of, is it the third person or just the viewer? Or is it always relative to the front person? I think it's always relative to the leader. All these little quirky things with Zwift. For sure. Rob James, welcome along. Good morning. Things are good, mate. Things are good. Second session on Zwift today. I left the house for exactly 10 minutes and got straight back inside because it's freezing out. And we have better things to do than be in the freezing cold. Like ride up the Epic KOM twice in a day. Does it feel better with the new firmware? I can tell you, it feels absolutely no different whatsoever. What I'm hoping though is got a nice clear data channel and the numbers line up and they're looking good just by eye at the moment. Tried to look for the changelog, can't find it. What's changed? Well, funnily enough, I can't connect to the trainer and tell you either because it only has the one Bluetooth connection and I'm using Bluetooth to Windows. If I had that Bluetooth connection spare, I could connect. Aramdi, thank you for subscribing. Welcome along. Well, I better get some ride-ons back. There we go. There's another one to the list. Potholes and dogs to make things more interesting, for sure. For sure. Now they need to make mini games. So the power-ups need to be over here or over here. So the steering not only changes the draft, so you can see I'm out of the draft now. As soon as I'm over here, it'll say nothing about the draft because why did that not even say close the gap? Is it because that big billboard is up on the screen? But I can get in the draft here. So the draft message doesn't pop up when there's all that extra timing advertising on screen. Okay. That's new. Oh, and I'm being dropped. But if I want to jump out of the draft, I could do that. Or if someone was on my wheel, same deal. Chop them out of my draft, and away I go. But the gamification of the steering hasn't even been spoken about. There's nothing stopping them from putting an open sports field just for the steering people to go around and collect drops or power-ups or something. I don't know. I guess the hardcore racers will get angry at that because they should be spending more time fixing the UI or something, but they can do both. They need to try things to fail. It needs, I mean, if you're putting out things that are going to be final and perfect every single time. Nothing gets released. Nothing gets released. No instability while sprinting with the steering. No, not at all. It's more your technique indoors. The steering is fine. The steering, if you're unstable on the front end sprinting indoors, you're doing it wrong. And if you're unstable on the front end sprinting indoors, get the hell away from everyone else sprinting outdoors. You're going to be like a crazy chicken. No, it's fine. It locks in nice and straight. And you should be pulling up on the bars indoors and outdoors. Someone in another live stream mentioned that Tacx doesn't offer or have any repairs since they got taken over by Garmin. Is that true? Let me summarize a nice clickbait headline that I think Cycling Weekly ran with. Somebody had a Neo1 that was well out of warranty, I believe. And I can't recall the exact deal, but the media got it wrong, entirely wrong. If something's out of warranty, it's out of warranty. If you need something fixed, you're going to be paying for it. Parts-wise, I think like everything in life these days, most of the parts are throwaway parts. There's a fee associated. I don't think Garmin or Tacx as a company are evil, but they're not a charity either. So, anyhow, the deal is, my interactions with both companies, aside from being Gplama, me just being Shane Miller, I've had good experience with those companies. But it's about providing them good quality info and showing that you've tried to fix the problem yourself rather than getting angry. I'm the end user of a number of angry emails and support requests for other companies. Not much I can do, but if you're polite. So, look, at the end of the day, with any equipment, if it's ending warranty, and you like that peace of mind, either see if they've got an extended warranty option, or flip it. Sell it secondhand, take the loss, buy the latest, and not have to worry. Cam Nichols, he's up in Queensland. That's a whole other country from here. Zwift race and live stream. No, I've done that, Ian. I'll race the Oat Route races. I'll have a bit of a dig every now and then, but my racing days is I've ticked all the boxes I need to there. I'm good. As long as I'm fit enough to break these things, I'm happy. Race with steering. You might notice I'm a bit hesitant for all of that. I cover things that I'm interested in. And to be honest, racing with steering, as a viewer, I'm interested. I'm interested to empower people in, here's the steering machine, here's how it works. You go off and show us, what it can do at that level. I don't think there's any value in me finishing mid-pack somewhere. But keep an eye out for the Oat Route stuff and the virtual Tour de France stuff. Everyone enjoys seeing me suffer, and I said that on the Restream interview I had the other day over on the Restream Friday Lives. They were talking to me about streaming sports and things. I think the best engagement I have is when I shut up and suffer. But that's not what I do this for. I do this so I can read the chat and get some good Ks in. All right, so here we go. Radio Tower. Let's get rid of that. Minute or two, 100% trainer difficulty. Let me just make sure that is the case. Settings, we are on max. There we go. And we grind, and we grind. Oh, hear that crunch? That was Di2. It's so beautiful. Oh, these levers are... I've got some new hood covers for these levers I need to put on. Any big plans for this TDF? Hopefully stay up at night and watch it if it's on still. Evening, Jeremy. Encountered an issue. So if I answer the questions here, I'm taking my mind off the pain in my knees at the moment. With the Roam, whereby you share the planned route for the live track, the planned route doesn't show for the person using the link. One for Wahoo support. It should. All right. How's the knees? Off. 49 RPM. Oh. Okay. Test number 1 done. We shall return to that cadence near the top. Test. I can talk during it, afterwards I'm toast. Nobody get the ruler out. It's probably less than half. Okay, cool. So what do we need? It was 49 RPM, wasn't it? Team Ineos bombshell news, what is that? No Freemy, no G. What about no cab? So much for PR and marketing at this year's tour. No one knows who the riders are. Here we go. Oh, Adam Yates to Ineos, yeah. Mitchell and Scott's going through a bit of an implosion. Where are we? Cool. Same watts, same RPM. Halfway down the cassette at 50%. Oof. It's weird with the timing of all the Pro Tour stuff this year. We know all the teams. Oh, someone switched the lights on. We know all the teams that the pros are going to already. I think we always do this time of year anyway, but usually it's after the tour. You can tell the difference. One of them runs the climbing shifter facing forwards. The old TCR has, okay, test 2 done. It's quick release, so yeah, I do have to switch it back. But it's also got a 24mm bottom bracket spindle. So what I don't like, removing bottom bracket bearings every week to switch cranksets. Things won't last very well. So that's why I still run the old TCR. So I can do power testing. I'm spending more time on it actually than the newer one, but nowadays indoors, both on Di2, they're one and the same. Crunch. Yeah, Cav's been a bit off the game for a while. It's sad to see because we always see him as the new kid. To me, Cav's still the new kid, but he's had a good run. And things change. Things change. Crunch. I can't get to the low RPMs without coming to the big ring. I'm not going to do that. My opinion of the Neo downhill drive. It's fun to listen to the free hub go, ree, but it serves no other purpose than that. Technically, it makes you slower downhills. On these virtual platforms, your speed is determined by the power you're pushing through the pedals. And if something is pushing the free wheel over, you're going to be able to push less down on the pedals. It's going to have a negative effect, technically. It doesn't drive you forward. The original marketing about it all was, oh, add to the realism because it propels you forward. It doesn't. All right. Time to hate my knees again. Test 3 done. Settings. Max. Let's bring it home with some sore knees. If you want to join me for the downhill, feel free. You'll need to add me as a friend on Zwift. And then hit ride with. You do need to put out a little bit of power though, just to get up over the little tiny bumps on the way down. But if you're looking at starting a ride and you want an extra couple of Ks, warm up. That's how to get it done. Off. Evan Poles crash, oof, yeah. That's bike racing. Look, anything can be dangerous, anything can be safe. Crash in a straight line. I've broken a hip and a collarbone on a straight stretch of road. It was the racing that did it, wasn't the road. I've crashed in other races, lots actually. But would I call for different racing conditions? Only in one instance. And that's Tour of Brighton. They did change that. We raced up the Mount Beauty side of Toowoomba, and then we raced down the Bright side of Toowoomba, but it wasn't a closed road. So there were cars coming up as we were racing down. Sure, we were given half the road. It's a race, what do you do? So we were going too quick. And I had a choice coming around one corner, either into the car, into the rider ahead of me, or into the dirt. The dirt one, and I've got scars to prove it. But that's all my own risk though. Would have been nice to have the full road. I should park GP Sheepy at the top, mate. GP Sheepy should be at the top of Von 2. That's a 20k downhill. This is the mountain route, yeah. Yep. I've already got the badge for this. But it's a good little test, a little 4-block test that I did there. Hey, nice bike. Look at that. Oh, hang on. Look. That's magnificent. Let me see this beast. Yes. Pink socks. Is that the Pride jersey, or that's just the ride on? I'm not quite sure what jersey that is, but that is a beautiful setup. I'm loving it, mate. That is 10 out of 10, and the safety light on the back. Deep wheels, are they the Envies? I think they are. Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. All right, quick. More power. Get out these little risers. There we go. Love the bike. Chop. Oh, pity about that front wheel now. It's a taco. Last year's Pride jersey. Cool. That's an awesome setup. I love it. Woohoo! A recovery bath? What's a recovery bath? Oh, mate, that's Melbourne. Okay, you can have a recovery bath. I hope it was at like 99 degrees Celsius. You'll need it today in Melbourne. Hey, Doty. Hey, it was a virtual chop. It wasn't real. Look, still upright. Everything's safe. Everything's fine. Abby, we put Max in a bubble bath tonight for the first time. Yeah, but he's had a bubble bath when he was like a real little spud. He had no idea. But tonight, bubbles? No. He wasn't having much of the bubbles. Though he did grab his little washcloth and start whipping us with it, so it's all good. Snowing just outside of Ballarat today. Not in Ballarat, thankfully. But when it snows, it's okay because it's cold enough to actually have a result. If it's freezing cold and not snowing, what's the point? Like when you go to the snowfields and the ski fields, it's the coldest place you'll ever go, but at least you're there for the snow. There's a result. It was incredibly wet and cold, yeah. I'm a bit worried, like Melbourne, come summertime when the days, oh God, here we go. Come summertime when I'm in the big ring, what am I doing? Call this more testing. When the days are long and we spend most of our time outside, if we're still in lockdown then, that's going to be pretty tough. This is the backside of the Epic KOM. My backside's done. What was that? 53.17. And these levers need changing. So I've installed everything on this bike. This is the bike that I installed all the DI2 stuff on the other day. As it came, I don't think I modified anything. So the front junction box, which will be replaced. The battery, I have the new batteries to go. So I can do synchro shifting and have the wireless module. It's a little project bike that just keeps me busy, keeps me off the keyboards for at least a few hours every now and then. Here we go. We have a crew. Yeah, I hope we won't be in lockdown for the warmer weather. I really don't. Or even if they are, if there's still restrictions around, whatever they may be, because we just don't know. I hope people can get some Mount Pleasant loops in. Dandenong loops, St Andrews, King Lake, Schoolhouse Road. Anybody ride that area? Beautiful part of the world. Although I've named a massive area of the world in Melbourne. Whoa, camera! What camera is that? Ah, cool. That's a nice one. Drone shot. Off. Lockdown during magpie season. Yeah, see, there's an upside. My magpie shots from a few years back are over on Shutterstock. So if you type in magpie swooping over on Shutterstock, you'll see some wicked swooping bird shots that I got with the GoPro. For the last couple of years, I've been trying to get the same kind of quality shots. I haven't. This year I'll try. We'll get a nice blue sky day. I'll put the GoPro 8 on the back of my head and I'll enter the battle zone. Yarra Street repeat efforts. That was a good one, Clifford. That was... I think I did 51 day. And then I went back and did 100 a couple of days later. It's just a good block of training. It's mad, but... it's a bit of fun. It's since been Everested a long time ago. With a lot more than that. One thing that was funny with that, I had to tape my fingers because Yarra Street in Melbourne, what is it, 600 metres, 500 metres long? It's not that long, but it gets real steep near the top, so you're pulling on the bars quite a bit, especially when you're fatigued. And I was getting blisters on my fingers. Tour Down Under. I had a bit of a realisation today that Tour Down Under might be completely different next year, and that's going to suck. Von and I, and Max now, every year, Tour Down Under, we're over there. Ray's been over there the last couple of years too. It's just a great week, although the weather this year was pretty horrible. But it's still just a good place to be. It feels a lot like Eurobike, or just a bike festival that Australia doesn't have. Well, it has. It is the Tour Down Under. But we'll see. We'll see. How's that front wheel holding up? Oh, mine will collapse first. Alrighty. So we're just cruising home, probably another 10 minutes or so to Autopia, and we are done. We've got some good data there. I have at least one sprint, that's all I need. For now, maybe. Yarra Street's good. When you turn left onto the real Yarra Street, or the street that's not Yarra Street, that's when you know, and you're like, you can almost kiss the front of the road, it's that close to you because the road just kicks up. And you're committed because you can't do a U-turn unless you go on the footpath. It's a one-way street on that section. Whew, alrighty. Power numbers are looking good all around. Oh, I sleep good at night when the power numbers are good. 8:09 PM, I'm early. Usually we're up to all hours doing this. As I said on the last live stream, Haute Route France is coming along to, or France is coming along to Zwift mid-September. Huge events, always well attended. So we'll enter those and I'll live stream those and see if we can finish mid-pack. And Ventoux on the cards again. I still remember very clearly the Ventoux session that I did for the Chapter tour. I was feeling good and lifted about 10 minutes towards the end. Oh, I paid for that. And then I think the last minute, do I race A grade? No, not anymore. I used to. Though Tobin, on the I think the big one where we coined the phrase potato. I mean, the potato machine's always been around for a long time, but we use it quite a bit on the Zwiftcast. That was the tour of Watopia. The following tours weren't so bad, or people didn't complain because everyone just put up a picture of a potato. I'm sort of flipping the other way. I want Zwift to be more demanding on hardware. They can keep it lightweight for the less capable hardware, that's fine. But for a machine like this and a lot of other gaming rigs, I want to see 2,000 other riders. I want that feeling of thousands and thousands of others. At the moment, up there on the this screen up here, you can see all the little dots, they're all humans. That in a fully decked out fondo or event, you only see, is it the nearest 100? I think it is. So it's just this little blob. But if it had everyone, it'd just be this massive line of people. It'd be so cool. You just don't quite get that feeling of epicness when you're looking all up the road, especially in 4K when you can see right up the road and right back. If you do a bit of a look back. If everyone had Sturzos, here's another way of thinking of that. If they all had Sturzos, no one would be able to move because you can't move sideways. So I think in a bunch where everyone has a Sturzo, it might be a little bit more real in that everyone's not just doing the washing machine effect. But we're yet to see that. No, I haven't met Katie Kookaburra. She's from the UK. What's the legalities of using the word Kookaburra if you're not an Aussie? My head deep in Shimano build manuals and other product tech stuff. I don't, to be honest, watch a lot of entertainment style YouTubers. I get along a lot better with machines. Not to say it's anything bad with the content they make, there's just only so many hours in a day. And American and Germany, that's probably a good place to be. I love Germany. I love your truck stops. They are huge. They have everything. They have great food. Well, it's really not healthy food. Damn, it's tasty food. I love your autobahns. And your countryside. Ray and I drove from Amsterdam down to Eurobike and then down to Italy and then back up through. Germany's beautiful. That countryside is unreal. Channel strike for breaking copyright with Australian native wildlife. Oh, there's some copyright issues in the Australian media at the moment that are a bit weird. Yeah. It's all good. Hey, look, if the more people producing content, the better. And I've always said, if you want to know the ratio between people who create content and those who consume it, if you walk into a JB Hi-Fi or an electronics store, or what's JB Hi-Fi in other countries? You know, just electronic goods stores. You count the number of speakers and headphones versus the number of microphones. And that's usually the difference between content creators and consumers. It's so far in the other way. Weighted the other way. The ratio's the other way. Anyway, I'm talking junk, but you know what I mean. My frustration there was it was really hard to find a good microphone a couple of years back. Though these days, you can't find anything with all the microphones and webcams all sold out. Flight sim lets you fly anywhere in the world now. Would they do the same for bikes? Well, the thing with an aeroplane, it goes very fast. And you don't have to draw the road. Well, I guess they do draw the roads, don't they? But it's not the same. Airspace is probably a little easier to simulate once you got the physics right. But that would be kind of cool to be able to drop in anywhere in a full 3D rendered world that replicated the real world. I wonder if we could get there. I mean, imagine if Zwift was like, or let's go 10 years down the track, whatever this becomes or whatever the next thing comes along, that could properly replicate the roads. Not just still images or anything like that, but map it properly. Outside doesn't exist. Well, if you're in Melbourne, outside doesn't exist at the moment. Jerry, how we doing, mate? Good to see you. We're aiming for this finish line in town. And then we're done for the night. But if they were to replicate all the real worlds, then your virtual Tour de France is you just hold the race. And then what they should do is map the existing riders, or the current real world riders, with their current locations, and put them in game. So then if you want, you could join a multiplayer game, ride the Tour de France in real time on the wheels of the pros, either in your own little instance or with a group. You could spin up multiple virtual worlds, all with the current stage of the tour or any of the classics running. And let's just say, if you were never going to hold the wheel of the pros, you can gamify it. Jump yourself on a virtual e-bike. Again, all in a sandbox. It's not going to affect anybody else. But you imagine being able to say, okay, I can't ride for 6 hours, but I'll ride the last 2. I'm not going to be able to match their power, but I want to play a game. So I'll be on double power or something like that. Then you can jump on wheels up the Poggio, try and descend with them and try and out-sprint them on the line. That'd be cool. You'd use a helicopter. Wise. That's what they do at the real Tour de France, don't they? All the VIPs helicopter their way along the route. Tacx NEO2T, worth the upgrade of the kicker snap with Asioma pedals? Good question. Two different products. The kicker snap, you're going to be dealing with tyre pressure, tyre wear, and it's not a direct drive trainer. The snap's a good unit. One of the best, probably the best, wheel-on trainers out there. But it's a little bit of a different experience. I mean, your Asioma is going to get you the accuracy. If you can test ride, that's the best way to go. It depends what kind of riding you're doing too. Sound-wise, probably about the same. The snap's not overly noisy. Alright, we are almost done. We'll go through the 30Ks, we can't leave it at 29. Whew. Yeah, Thomas, the SL7. I paid for that with drops the other day. Just because. So, back on there. It looks nice, except the rear derailleur cable. Look at that, what is that? What's with that big... That's not Di2. It's got a bit of a kink in it too at the bottom. No wonder my shifting is horrible. Kidding. They should take that derailleur. It's even got a little... Can I get any closer? That's the next question. Where's that camera angle? No, I can't. There, oh, close. It does too. It's got that little silver end point. So that's mechanical. Why am I running... It's not even running Dura-Race, the Di2. Come on. Come on, S-Works. I'm sure they didn't pay for that licensing on Zwift. Oh, sprint. Got me. That is a mechanical Di2 on your Zwift bike. Then still no pedals. Alright, we'll do a few more Ks in this. Legs are feeling alright. Any questions? Fire away. I'll only be here for another few minutes before I'll carry on elsewhere. Stop annoying everybody with my banter. If you're riding outside this weekend, let me know where you're going, how far, how many Ks you're riding, and how your Di2 is going, because everybody should have that. Hey, hello. Hello, was that a steer? Was that a steer? No, it wasn't. It was an auto steer. Damn. Favorite Zwift map? It's got to be Watopia, but just because I know where I am all the time, and there's so much variety, and I can get a workout done for a longer climb, a shorter climb, hilly route, flat route. I just know where everything is. I think we've ridden around it so much that we know where everything is. SRAM ETAP Red, yeah, I love it. I can't afford it. Cannot. In the comments the other day about the Di2 video, it's like, oh, you would hate SRAM because it's not as complex as this. But the reality check is, to get enough cassettes and XDR drivers that I need just for the Lama lab will cost more than the entire group set that I just put on this bike, just for the cassettes. So I just can't justify it yet. I'd love to get into it. I'd love to get my mind around the access stuff, the diagnostics, the options, the upgrades. But my word, it might be a few years off. The reason I can do it with Di2 is because there's a lot of stuff on the market secondhand, pre-owned. I already have another set of levers to upgrade this bike to already that I picked up for next to nothing. Someone stripped a bike the other day, put them up on one of the for sale groups. Done. Purchased. All the XDR drivers, oh yeah, I pretty much have them. I've requested if a company's going to give me a preview of a trainer or a media, please supply the through axle kits originally. Now it's also the XDR drivers. But if I need to grab one and go to the shop and get one that I don't have, or the trainer's gone back, and it's just... But I think people are interested in Yeah, and what can you get for cheap? See you later, Jerry. Thanks for dropping by. And being able to do your home mechanic stuff. I like it. I like it. As I said the other day, what was a 13-minute video was probably 3 or 4 hours in the garage. It was just me and my tools and the camera. And everything worked perfectly. You didn't see any... Nothing didn't work, except the derailleur hanger. I got the wrong one. We'll sort that out. Do I have any Zwift tips? Mate, I've got lots. You've just subscribed to the channel, so have a look at the Zwift tips videos that I do. Tons and tons of little tiny tips and tricks, but also some more generic Zwift stuff such as getting started, fixing dropouts, and everything in between. Hatch, you are 3,500 meters from the Tron. Fire and ice tomorrow. Good luck with that. This is a big day out. 3,500 meters of climbing. Jeff from Texas, how's things? Nice and hot in Texas, I hope. Well, I'm hoping it's hot because here it's freezing. We can only dream of better weather. Prince of Computer Games, no problems at all. Thanks for everybody dropping in and saying hi. It's the chat is why I do these streams. Lots of familiar faces. Lots of good questions coming through. Like here, Marco. I use 3-second power on Zwift because I have 3-second power on the head units that I use. I can line things up a little better. In erg mode, Zwift will do instant, which can be a little tricky. 35 on Twitch? Get out of here, Twitch. 34 now. Oh, we just dropped something. That's okay. If you're on Twitch, give it a follow or a sub or a... I don't know what Twitch does, really, to be honest. Freezing in Australia is anything under 40 degrees Celsius. Oh. 6.8 degrees today, maximum temperature here in Ballarat. With a wind chill factor, feels like... Oh, that's an ugly bike. Feels like... 6.8 felt like negative 0.2, I think it was, or negative 2. It's horrible. Mate, what is that then? Okay, well, fair enough. You've gone all out with the kit. That's 10 out of 10 for the shoes, the socks, and the jersey, and the... Yep, okay, pay that. I just don't know what bike. Is it the... That's not the Ventum, it's the Cervelo. It's written on there. God, I'm an idiot. I should just read. It's a 4-tooth cassette on the back. It's going to be a bit hard to push over. It's a P5X. It looks beastly. If you're going to ride it, you're going to ride it looking like that. Bailey, good job. That's how you should ride that bike. Fully decked out. All right, we'll go to 33.3Ks. Let's do that. It's a nice round number. Negative 4.7 last time you checked. What? Favorite bike on Zwift? Oh, look, it doesn't really matter what bike you ride on Zwift. I was pushing around on the safety bike for a while there. Whatever you want to ride. Or whatever you last spent your drops on. Victoria weather. Ballarat. Currently 5.7, feels like negative 1.1. Nice big rain band coming through. All right, 400 meters to go. Let's do it. Again, thank you for everybody coming along tonight for the chat. Again, it's why I do these. Lots of familiar faces. I appreciate the company on these rides. This one was... Actually, I had multiple tests on this one. So it's a NEO2T 0.0.36 firmware. Testing the Asiano pedals, we know those, but that's what I was testing it against. Also the Sugii, I'll try and find out how to pronounce that correctly, power meter. They had a firmware update last night to 3.4, so we'll see how it goes in that sprint. And the left-right balance, I think they addressed with that. 33.3, come on, a little bit further, a little bit further. Almost there. Currently watching on Netflix, if anybody else is playing at home after watching Tiger King and me recommending that. We're watching High Score on Netflix, which covers the history of computer games, but it's covering Atari, Pac-Man, and the people who are modding the Space Invaders for, I think it was, or Missile Command. Interesting stuff. If you've got Netflix and into computer games, obviously you may be if you're watching me play a computer game here. Something to get your eyes onto on Netflix. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Testing is done. Hour 15, second session for the day. Should be back tomorrow. Good. I'm good, Williams. Sorry, I'm just about to leave. Tons of updates for the Garmin units, for the Edge units on firmware. So if I can get a chance tomorrow to sit down and go through the changelog, I love nerding out on a changelog. I've been running the new firmwares for the last day or two. Everything looks good, and there are updates for everyone across the board. iPhone pairing is now more stable, so they say. Let's see how that goes. It's always a moving target. There's some updates for Climb Pro and everything. Anyway, I'll go through the changelog tomorrow. I love doing those videos, and they're quite popular too, so it gives more context to just the boring odd changelog. Anyhow, I could wrap it on all night. 33.3, we are done. Thanks for dropping by. We shall see you soon. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back again, maybe for one of the route badge rides. They're going to be the long haul. But we're trained up for it, so we should be good. All right, have a good day, everyone. See you soon.